Have you ever wondered why wasting even a little time feels wrong? Or why we admire people who wake early and stay disciplined? This mindset isn't just modern hustle culture. It traces back to Benjamin Franklin's unique vision of work as virtue. Born in 1706 as the 15th of 17 children, Franklin had little formal education and no inherited wealth. Yet he became a printer, inventor, diplomat, and founding father. His success embodied the idea that hard work and discipline could transform one's destiny. Franklin shared this philosophy through writings like Poor Richard's Almanac and his autobiography. Aphorisms such as time is money and early to bed, early to rise, highlighted Franklin's practical wisdom. They taught that thrift, punctuality, and effort were not only useful in daily life, but also deeply moral virtues. A century later, sociologist Max Weber analyzed Franklin's sayings as examples of the Protestant ethic. For Weber, Franklin represented how Protestant values of thrift and discipline fed into capitalism's rise. But Franklin himself made this ethic secular, practical, and accessible to anyone. Let's explore Franklin's work ethic through 4 pillars: thrift, time discipline, rational self-improvement, and work as civic virtue. We'll see how Franklin lived these values and how his lessons echo in today's productivity culture, financial movements, and self-help industry. Franklin's thrift was legendary. During his early years working in Philadelphia's print shop, he carried loaves of bread under his arms instead of paying for costly meals. This small habit showed his belief that every unnecessary expense was wasted energy, not just wasted money. Weber saw thrift as religiously motivated, saving money to honor God by avoiding indulgence. Franklin secularized it, framing thrift as rational efficiency. Every coin saved could be reinvested into business, learning, or civic projects. To Franklin, spending wisely was as important as earning. Franklin's thrift resembles today's FIRE movement: financial independence, retire early. Just as Franklin carefully managed expenses, FIRE advocates track spending, live below their means, and invest savings. Both see thrift not as sacrifice, but as freedom to pursue higher goals. Franklin's lesson here is timeless: waste less, reinvest wisely, and align spending with purpose. He warned, beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. For today's viewer, this echoes budgeting apps and financial coaching podcasts everywhere. Franklin treated time as sacred. As an apprentice, he worked late setting type while others drank or socialized. He believed every wasted hour was stolen opportunity. Lost time is never found again, he reminded himself, urging constant attention to productivity. Weber emphasized punctuality as a Protestant duty, an evidence of one's calling. Franklin reframed it in secular terms. Time wasn't just God's gift, it was economic capital. If time was money, then managing it wisely became the foundation of prosperity. Franklin's meticulous scheduling mirrors today's productivity apps. Just as Franklin planned his day, asking each morning, "What good shall I do today?" Modern professionals also rely on structure. They use calendar apps, memo apps, or habit trackers to organize work and maximize every block of time. Franklin's daily structure reveals an enduring truth: productivity requires intentional design. By making every hour serve a purpose, he turned life into an investment portfolio of time. For us, this translates to time blocking, goal setting, and eliminating digital distractions. Franklin's ethic went beyond thrift and time. It was about shaping character itself. He designed a list of 13 virtues, including temperance, order, and industry. Each day he tracked progress in a notebook, scoring failures as if balancing a moral ledger. For Weber, discipline came from religious duty. Franklin, by contrast, made self-improvement a secular science. Improvement wasn't about salvation, it was about rational progress. Just as one improved a business, one could also systematically improve habits, character, and life outcomes. Franklin's virtue journal foreshadows today's self-tracking culture. From habit-tracking apps to bullet journals, people log exercise, diets, and moods. Franklin pioneered this mindset, quantifying daily progress, turning personal growth into measurable, actionable steps toward success. Franklin's example suggests self-discipline is best when structured and measurable. He didn't rely on vague resolutions. Instead, he engineered systems for improvement. In today's world, this means setting clear goals, tracking progress, and iterating, whether in health, work, or personal projects. Franklin believed labor was not only personal gain, but community service. He used his skills to start Philadelphia's first lending library, volunteer fire brigade, and public hospital. Work wasn't merely self-centered, it was a civic contribution that built stronger society. Weber emphasized work as proof of faith, but Franklin extended the ethic outward. True success meant benefiting others. His industriousness created not only wealth, but institutions. Franklin showed that disciplined effort could serve both individual prosperity and collective good. Franklin's civic ethic resembles today's social entrepreneurship or open-source movements. Just as Franklin used printing to spread knowledge, modern creators share software, knowledge, or community projects, showing how work can scale into public value far beyond private profit. Franklin's lesson here: measure work not only by income, but by impact. He reminds us that true wealth lies in creating institutions, knowledge, or innovations that outlive us. In this sense, productivity culture should point toward lasting contribution. Together, these pillars, thrift, time discipline, self-improvement, and civic virtue, form Franklin's secular version of the work ethic. Unlike Weber's religious foundation, Franklin's was practical and universal. Anyone could adopt it regardless of faith, by following habits of discipline and purpose. But this ethic has two sides. It inspires ambition and progress, yet it can also pressure us into constant busyness. Franklin balanced work with humor, conversation, and curiosity. He reminds us, productivity isn't an end in itself. It should serve life. Franklin's thrift teaches us to live below our means, like fire. His time discipline aligns with productivity tools. His self-tracking echoes habit apps. His civic projects resemble social entrepreneurship. His life anticipated modern strategies centuries before they had names. So what lessons should we take today? Franklin's work ethic isn't about grinding endlessly. It's about aligning effort with purpose, tracking progress, and using success to benefit others. Hard work matters, but meaningful work, directed at lasting good, matters even more. The Protestant ethic, explained by Weber, gave capitalism its moral backbone. But Franklin gave it a human face, accessible, witty, and practical. His sayings endure not because they moralized, but because they worked. They were field-tested in both business and life. Imagine Franklin with a smartphone today, setting alarms, logging habits, tracking expenses, sharing civic projects online. We'd call him a productivity guru, an influencer, maybe even a startup founder. In many ways, Franklin was centuries ahead of Silicon Valley thinking. And yet Franklin would still insist on one question each morning. What good shall I do today? Not how much will I earn, but what value will I create? That's the balance between ambition and virtue that defines his legacy. The modern world still struggles with overwork, burnout, and misplaced priorities. Franklin's ethic doesn't solve everything, but it reminds us to structure life intentionally. Discipline without purpose is empty. Purpose with discipline can transform lives, careers, and even societies. So when you next feel guilty for wasting time, remember Franklin. Don't just work harder, work smarter, work purposefully, and work with impact. His life proves that a disciplined ethic, rightly directed, can turn bread loaves into empires and ideas into nations. If you found Benjamin Franklin's work ethic inspiring and want more videos exploring the ideas behind success, discipline, and productivity, please hit like, subscribe for future lessons, and share this video with friends who love history and life hacks.